Peace, family, and welcome to the Drapetomaniac Podcast. This is Ayapo Yapa, the HDIC, that is, the head Drapetomaniac in charge. And we're here to have conversations on how to get off this plantation. Years ago, when I was in the military, I was stationed in Germany. When I would get off work sometimes, I would go past the NCO club. That was the Non-Commissioned Officers Club for you civilians. Inside the club, near the front, there were rows and rows of slot machines. And every now and then, I would go in and just for something to do, I'd play the slots. Typically, I'd take $4 or $5 worth of quarters in because that's about how much I determined I wouldn't mind losing. On one particular day, I walked in with about $4 in quarters.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to make sure that you listeners are listening to the Drapetomaniac Podcast on doayamedia.com. You are, right?
And to make a long story short, within a half hour or so, I had built that $4 in quarters into over $200. I was on a roll. So I'm pretty sure you know what I did. That's right. I took that $200 and spent about another half an hour or so putting it right back into the machines, along with the 4 initial dollars I walked in with. You're about to walk into a casino. Several people are walking out, and you ask each person how much they won. Each person says, I didn't win anything. Still, you go inside and you ask everyone you see at a crap table or roulette wheel or poker table or slot machine how much they won. And they all tell you that they haven't won anything. Still, you decide to hit the slot machines for a while. You spend about $20, and after being there for a half an hour, you never win. Not once. The machine just eats your money, and it doesn't even pay you off once, just to make you feel good. And then the management, seeing you're in distress, walks up to you and says, "You do know that all these games are rigged, don't you?" And again, that's not some random person telling you this. It's the management of the casino. So what do you do at that point? Would you finally leave the casino? Or just keep playing in spite of the fact that there is no hope of ever winning? And even the people who run the place tell you that you will never win. You will be several magnitudes of insane if you were to keep playing. The scenario I just gave would never happen. When you walk into a casino, you hear all kinds of bells and whistles that force your attention to the machines that have just paid off. Just as in my own case, I hit the jackpot a couple times and had smaller wins along the way. Onlookers would no doubt look at me and say to themselves, wow, if he's winning, I can win too. And then play just as I did and will likely rack up some wins, but to eventually put the money right back into the machine, along with what they started out with when they walked in. What are the bells and whistles for our people? When one cop finally gets convicted for murdering yet another one of our people. When we get all excited because we see positive imagery of our people in the media for a change. Examples being movies like Black Panther or Beyonce's most recent effort, along with a handful of other movies or shows. The first black man or woman to be elected to a high office in their state. Apologies and symbolic gestures like wearing kente cloth and kneeling for the terror and oppression that's been visited upon our people from the moment that we were kidnapped and stripped of our identities. The first black person to be the head of a major corporation. The few black people who have graduated college and have quote-unquote made it and are living in the suburbs spread out so few and far between that's like a handful of black-eyed peas inside a 100-gallon drum of rice. But we're told, look at them, look at them, look at them. See, they made it. They won. You can win too. Just keep playing. Keep engaging. Keep giving your energy to the system. The problem is that just as with any casino, the house always wins. The strategy isn't to make you lose necessarily, but to keep you playing. As long as you're playing, they're winning. Like winning a prize at a carnival from playing a game on the Midway, you walk around proudly with your quote-unquote prize, and when asked, how much did you spend on that game winning that thing? You say, without really thinking about it, $25 or $30. And then later you force yourself to never investigate the cost of the item if you just gone into a store and bought it, because you know it'll only be worth $4 or $5. So you see the bells and whistles and you think someone is winning. You want to win too, and in your money goes. The other part of it is when you reach that point that you've invested so much money into the machine that now you can't stop playing, because now you're trying to at least recoup your losses. And there you stand, feeding the beast and coming up with lemons every time. And every now and then you get a win that nets you a couple bucks of what you've lost. But then, you put it right back in. And finally, after all your money, all your time, all your energy, all your effort is gone, you leave because you have nothing left, and the casino is that much richer. That reference is to death, by the way. We are absolutely inundated with black people who serve as bells and whistles for our people. When making statements about yet another unarmed black person being murdered by cops, typically you'll see a black police chief or a black mayor. Bells and whistles. Everybody look, there's the first black man elected to the office of fill in the blank. Bells and whistles. Everybody look, this cop or these cops or white supremacists or white celebrity who murdered one of our people or at the very least made racist remarks got what's coming to them. Bells and whistles. See, politicians are finally starting to talk about reparations and hearing your voices. Bells and whistles. Look, everyone, look at the successful black businessman and wealthy black celebrities. Bells and whistles. The fact is that when you're walking toward a casino, if you ask people coming out that they won, every now and then someone will say that they won. Some may even have won big. Once inside, you'll see plenty of people setting off the bells and the whistles of the machines and hear the plink, plink, plink of their winnings falling down into the tray. And no manager is ever going to come to you and tell you that the games are rigged so that you lose. The truth is that from time to time, the casino, the system, has to let someone win or even give you some minor wins. That is the nature of the scam. If no one ever won, no one would ever play. Would you purchase lottery tickets if in the history of that lottery, no one ever won it? That's the game, to let a few people win a little bit so that we all keep playing, empowering the machine that's stealing our time, effort, energy, and yes, finances. So am I saying that our people are just destined to lose? Yes. That is not a negative or defeatist way of looking at it, though. It is just a truth within the construct of this system. However, outside of this system is where our power lies. The time, energy, and money wasted to win inside the casino is time, energy, and money that could be used to break free of the system. And for me, that doesn't mean starting a business that's connected to this system or quote-unquote beating the system while still living within it. I believe that the only way to advance is to separate from the system altogether and to find a movement that's about the true freedom and self-determination of our people, disconnected and outside of this system. That is how you win. That is where you win. Now I say that, but no, it's not easy to do. But if you ever intend to be truly free and actually win for real, then that kind of separation is the only solution. I myself am still working on it, like a prisoner digging every day with a spoon to get free. Maybe I'll make it, maybe I won't, but it won't be for lack of trying. Do I know exactly what I'm doing or exactly how this will turn out? No. All I do know is that where I am and where our people are is a hostile environment for our people, and that it always has been and it always will be. Period. And the only solution is to disengage from it to the greatest degree possible. Each day, I'm conditioning myself to ignore the bells and whistles with which our society at large attempts to seduce me. Because I've learned a truth and I embrace it. The truth that no matter how many of our people I see seemingly winning, or any perceived wins or advancements that we get, there is one rule and one rule only within the construct of a system of white supremacy, and that is, the house always wins. And the only way to truly win for yourself is to get out of and stay out of the house. Thank you for listening to another Drapetomaniac podcast. This is Ayapo Yapa, the HDIC. That's the head Drapetomaniac in charge. Sending love, honor, and respect to you and yours, as well as peace, blessings, and safety until next week at this same time. And until then, I'll see you on the run.
And thank you again for listening to the Drapetomaniac podcast. Tune in next week at doiamedia.com. DOEAIAMEDIA.com. And again, we'll catch you on the run. Peace.